Samurai are really cool. Growing up, I've always been fascinated by the samurai, the honor-bound society, the really cool armor, and of course the really intense duels. And this fascination didn't stop as I was growing up. I was introduced to samurai media like TV shows, movies, anime, and even games. I found them so cool. Their stoicism, the absolute drip, and their aura as well. Now, I had mentioned that I played samurai games growing up, but they weren't really pure samurai games to begin with. I had Tenchu on my PSP, which was during the age of samurais, but you were more of a ninja shinobi during it. Then there was also Sekiro, but I found it too hard and gave up in the middle of it. I'll come back to you, I swear. It wasn't until I was watching E3 2018 and saw this. I was hooked from the start. You're telling me I can play a game where I can be an actual samurai, fight in a very fluid way, and it looks beautiful? I need this game right now, is what young Roy said at the time, probably. I then waited for this game to come out, getting more and more excited with each new footage that was shown, and then finally, on July 17, 2020, I finally bought the game and started this new journey.
We are 80 samurai against an army, fighting to slow the invasion. Today, I die for my people.
Holy peak. Cinema, Kino, and every other adjective that works with those words. I was floored. And then suddenly, 50 hours of my life go away as I go around Tsushima doing whatever I can in order to remove the Mongols from my island. Now, you must be wondering, why am I making a video for a 5-year-old game? Well, simply because I didn't make videos like this before, and Ghost of Yotei, the sequel, is right around the corner, so I wanted to revisit this game. Now, with me revisiting the game, I will admit, I was afraid that one of my favorite games of all time would fall out of my top spots, that me liking this game was only during that time, and that I would never feel the same way that I did 5 years ago. Luckily, that was not the case. I recently played through the entire game on my Twitch channel, and if anything, my love of the game was elevated even more. It helps that I'm older and have gone through more life things now, but I found the game to hit harder on certain segments. But I shouldn't get ahead of myself. There's a lot to talk about this game, and I'm very excited to share my thoughts about it with you guys. Before we start, I'll be issuing a spoiler warning. I'll be talking about story spoilers later on, but for the entire video, gameplay spoilers will be fair game. Don't worry, I'll put in a timestamp later on for when you can skip when we reach that section. With that out of the way, let's talk about why Ghost of Tsushima is pure cinema. This game is beautiful. I don't know how Sucker Punch did it, but genuinely every frame of this game could be some artwork found in a museum. It's just one of those games that rewards you to just stop moving. You can watch the sunset and take in the beautiful landscapes that you've been walking or riding around in. But that's not the only thing that's great about the landscape. It's also well incorporated into the exploration loop of the game. In the game's story, it's explained that your dead father and mother are to be
the wind at your back, your mother, the birds in the trees.
This isn't just a hyperbole. This is also quite literal. With a swipe up to the controller's touchpad, a wind directs you to whichever place you've chosen to go to, and while you're randomly going around, a yellow bird will also appear right by you to indicate that you're close to an activity or location in the map. You've also probably noticed the lack of a minimap or compass in the game. This is great. This forces players to be reliant on their surroundings, watching the sky for smoke in the air, or just making them pick a direction and just going there. And the game's map isn't just an empty world. There's so many things littered around Tsushima that makes exploring rewarding. Things like bamboo strikes and hot springs that improve your resolve and max HP, or smaller things like fox dens that give you more charm related stuff, or haiku spots that make you reflect on certain themes or people that you've met throughout the story. One of my favorite activities in the game are the shrines. Every time you go up to one, the way up is either collapsed or is completely broken, leading you to do this mini puzzle of sorts for figuring out how to get up there. As you climb, you get to see just how much higher you've gotten, which ends up with you seeing a jaw-dropping vista of your surroundings. My lighting died, so you have to deal with this changed lighting now, so cool. Where was I? Fun fact, the very first time I platinumed the game was on Ghost of Tsushima. I had purposely left a shrine climb to be the last thing I ever do, which allowed me to get this really nice picture of the lands around as my final picture. But this actually is a really nice segue into my next point, which is the game's amazing photo mode. The photo mode in this game is my absolute favorite. The amount of control that you have is astonishing, allowing us to create incredible images that showcase just how beautiful each and every backdrop this game has to offer us. The best part is, you can just access it whenever, except in cutscenes, but still. With one press of the D-pad, you're immediately in it. Dueling someone and you get a sick-ass berry? Photo mode. Riding your horse and you come across a beautiful sight? Photo mode. You're walking around and Jin poses all of a sudden? Photo mode. So many people have made such amazing pictures from this system, some showing just how robust and how in-depth you can go, and some that just show how beautiful the game is from the get-go. And you know what? I just can't help but to share them right now with you guys. I even tried my hand with it. It's not as good as the ones online, but I think it shows my own flair for the game's systems. Now that I've talked a lot about the visuals of the game, let me introduce you to the other half, the audio. There's a certain calmness to this. The way you hear the wind rustling through the grass, the leaves falling off the trees, or the way the snow crunches as you walk through it. The game's sound design is incredible. It immerses you even more into an already beautiful world. And that's just the outside too. Within towns, you can hear people planning out their days, blacksmiths hammering away on their forge, and you can even hear storytellers spreading rumors and legends of your exploits as you continue through the game. Then there's the music. Paired with all the sound design that I had mentioned before, it creates this relaxing soundscape. It gives you this peace of mind that lets you breathe in and appreciate the landscapes around you. That even in the chaotic time you find yourself in, there can still be moments of peace and clarity to help you along the way. Now that we talked about the audio and visual parts of the game, let's talk about what happens when you combine both of them. The combat is sick as hell. It's raw, intense, and hones in on that life or death feeling that each combat scenario wants to have. The clashing of blades, the screams of the Mongols as they try to coordinate a strategy to take you down, and then finally that visceral sound of the katana slashing through its enemy. It's intense. The way every combat feels like this makes it fun and exhilarating, especially on higher difficulties. It's not just the sound design, however. You've probably been hearing it in the background, but the battle theme also helps in the feeling of intensity. The war drums constantly banging through the track, the choir coming in at certain times, the panicky violin. It all helps to make each encounter feel deadly and intense. But that's not the only thing that makes combat look sick. There's also the different stances that you can do in the game. Each stance that Jin can do allows him to counter the weapon types that his enemies use. This then creates this situation where each combat scenario is a bit of a puzzle, watching enemy movements, figuring out what weapon they have, using the right stance. All of these small mechanics just make the combat system feel alive and polished, while also making it look extremely smooth and easy. Another great part of the game are the tales that can be found all around Tsushima. Now, some of them can be just short and sweet side missions that you get to do, but the other can be this multi-act tale telling the side story of one of your companions. While the former stories can be a little lackluster at times, it's the latter's stories that are amazing. They add so much to the world building in this game, while also expanding on your companion's struggles and showing us why they fight. But those aren't the only tales that are great, there are also the mythic tales. These missions, strewn around Tsushima, are an excellent form of world building. These tales help us unlock either new skills or new armor, but the way that they're presented are really cool. Using the ink to paint the story instead of some standard cutscene really pulls you into this idea of this legend being told. And while some of them have endings where you just find the armor, there are others that lean into the fantasy element of the legend and create duels that are memorable. Speaking of duels, they're my favorite part of the game. These 1v1s against other swordsmen or generals are so fun and exhilarating, especially the later ones that can hit like a truck if you're not prepared. But these duels aren't just fun in terms of their actual fight, but also in their presentation. And that's what I love about this game. It leans so heavily on samurai cinema. From certain shots, how each mission has a title card, the soft flutes as you walk around, the intense back and forth shots right before a duel. You know, it all just works. But it wouldn't work as good if not for the music. Ilan Ishikari and Shigeru Umebayashi created one of my favorite soundtracks in gaming. Each song is placed perfectly to reflect the emotions of the scenes or the battles in the game. Incorporating ancient Japanese instruments like the biwa with a full orchestra creates this soundscape that is both relaxing and gets my blood pumping. From the reflective nature of Forgotten Song, which plays whenever you sit in a haiku spot, to the exhilarating Jin Sakai, which perfectly represents Jin's determination and revenge. One of the last things I want to talk about this game is its story and themes. Before I start, I'm going to put a spoiler warning right here, right now. I'm going to dive deep into the story of this 5-year-old game, and if you don't want to hear any story spoilers, please just skip to this time into my closing thoughts, and you'll be all good. With every system at play here, combat, exploration, the visuals, the audio, it all creates this beautiful tapestry that is the game's main storyline. Just from the start of the game, you're thrust into this explosive opening, which leads into one of my favorite title drops in all of gaming. You know what you're in for. This is a story of defending your homeland, saving your uncle, and killing the person responsible for its devastation. But it's not that simple, is it? The enemy you face has learned of our customs and uses it against us. The Bushido Code is no longer applicable when the enemy uses our own honor against us. So what do? We become more than that. We use whatever tools that we can in order to drive them back, and that's one of the main points of the game. We bend our honor in order to save the people of Tsushima. But then comes our biggest detractor of our journey. The Khan? No! Our own family. Our uncle, Lord Shimura. As soon as you save him, he questions your doings and tries to put you back in the way of the samurai, his way of honor versus our own. But that's not the journey Jin has. Ever since he was a boy, honor to him was all about
protecting people. The ones who can't fight for themselves.
But to his uncle, honor is all about showing people how to serve their lord. Near the beginning of Act 2, while Lord Shimura is busy planning the attack to reclaim his castle, he sends Jin to multiple places, which sees him helping more of Tsushima's people. This makes it so that the people trust more in Jin rather than the lord of their island, Lord Shimura.
I gave them hope! You did nothing!
Near the end of Act 2, his uncle's way of honor would have sent the entire army into a massacre. Jin takes matters into his own hands and saves the army by infiltrating the castle himself and poisoning those inside. But rather than a thank you, he is branded as a traitor and kept as a prisoner. This action then causes a divide within Tsushima, where the samurai who are stuck and rigid in their ways follow Lord Shimura, while the people of Tsushima who have been looking for a ray of hope follow Jin, as he is someone that genuinely wants to help people rather than follow some arbitrary code.
We're all with you.
After killing the Khan, Jin and Lord Shimura ride for one last time, but before they arrive at their destination, they meet a peasant who, after getting help from them, says that he's going to the Ghost's army to give them supplies. After that, Jin doesn't really know what he's talking about, but his uncle knows exactly why this is a problem. To the Shogun and to all who follow the samurai code, this is a direct violation of that code. Jin has shown the people of Tsushima that they don't have to follow their leaders in every step of the way, that they have every right to make a choice for themselves. And what follows is arguably the most important piece of dialogue in the entire game.
You have no honor, and you are a slave to it.
The line hits hard. It's where you start to understand where Shimura is coming from. To him, this code of honor is all he has, passed down from one generation to another. But the thing is, he has never faced an enemy that disregarded their way of life. But Jin has. And in order to win, in order to save his people, he must turn to what honor means to him, and that is to protect those that cannot fight. This line also hits especially hard for someone like me. Growing up as a Filipino, I've been taught so many things that have been passed down from generations of other Filipinos, with them expecting that what was taught to them will work on me because I too am a Filipino. But that was never going to be the case. Like Jin, I had to find my own way. I had to find my own interpretations of the values that were passed on to me. It was a journey that at times felt lonely, but thanks to the people that I found along the way, it made finding myself easier because they believed in the person they saw, not my history. And just like Jin's journey, after the storm had passed, I too had become someone that I know I could be proud of, because I didn't let the past shackle me anymore. Ghost of Tsushima is an important game to me. Like my previous video, I would call it a work of art. Pure cinema even. This game showed me that the past is there as a way to reflect, to understand that it can never chain you down, and that you can use your past as a way to change for the better. It showed us that our true strength comes from being true to ourselves and relying on the people around us that make us who we are. I'm happy that I replayed this game, and I'm very excited to play Ghost of Yotei when that drops. Maybe I'll make a video like this, but, you know, not as analytical. Well, that's enough out of me. I hope you all enjoyed my ramblings, and I hope they made sense. Big shout out to my Twitch community for joining me in this journey of replaying this game. They were a big help. And hey, if you want to join in on whatever game I play next, be sure to check out my Twitch channel. It's here on the screen right now, and probably in the description somewhere down there. Well, here's all my other socials here. You'll find me milling about everywhere. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. I hope you all enjoyed this video, and I hope the next video gets made before the end of the year. Well, hoping. See you guys next time, and I hope that you all enjoyed this again. See ya.